Hey everybody, it's Emily at Arc Schooling, and it is time for a book haul. I had planned on doing book hauls bi-monthly because I didn't think I was going to buy enough things to warrant monthly book hauls. However, this month I have a lot of things, and I felt like it was time. So let's go ahead and talk about what I bought in the month of January. So this first deck I want to show you are things I bought for Build Your Library. These are books that I have purchased that I'm either planning on using in a level update or for a lip bite or something. So first up is American Cannibal, edited by Rebecca Rowland. And this is a collection of short stories about cannibalism that I used in the Morbid Curiosities Cannibal unit. These stories are all set in American history, and each author took a time period and wrote a story involving cannibalism in some aspect into it. It's really good. Like, I was prepared for this to be terrible because cannibalism is not a thing that I love in stories. But it actually worked really well for me. Like, I loved the historical fiction aspect of it. Some of the stories were really unique. There's one particular story in here, the one by Gwendolyn Keast, that blew my mind a little bit. I loved it. I wanted a whole novel of that. Like, I definitely want to read more by that author. But I thought it was really good, and it's in the cannibalism unit. Then the rest of these are all for level 12, or were things that I was like, that could work in the level but might be a lip bite. For example, this is going to be a lip bite, I think. I discovered this book, Revolutionary by Alex Myers, and I got so excited. I purchased it, even though I know this isn't going to go in level 12, because I really like the Revolutionary War era book I have there. Someone Knows My Name is like amazing, and I don't really want to take that out. So this doesn't fit in the level, but I think I'm going to write a lip bite if it's good. This is about the Revolutionary War soldier Deborah Sampson. She was a woman who decided to live as a man, join the army, fight in the Revolutionary War, and then live her life as a man. And it's written by a trans author. So I'm like, oh my god, this sounds amazing. I've been looking for something like this forever, and I cannot wait to read it. So this could be a lip bite. I haven't decided what I'm doing with it yet. I have to read it first, but it could also end up in one of these self-education units if I think it's too mature for teens. So we'll see, but I'm excited about it. I bought The East Indian by Brinda Chari. This is definitely, hopefully going to be in level 12. I'm looking for a book to replace The Witch of Blackbird Pond, and this is a strong potential. This is a book about a boy who is brought to the American colonies from India by the East Indian Company, the British East Indian Company, and they bring him to the colonies. He's working as an indentured servant, and it's kind of a coming-of-age story about this boy from India who is living in the American colonies. And I just think that sounds interesting. Like, it sounds so fast. I've never read anything about that specific thing, and it's based on an actual historical figure. So I'm so curious about this. I love coming-of-age stories anyway, but to have one set in this time and place with this particular character, it just sounds really good. I bought Truth, Lies, and the Questions in Between by L.M. Eliot. This is another one that is probably more likely to be a lip bite than in a level, but who knows. This is about reproductive rights in the 1960s, or in the 1970s. This is set in 1973. It says, a president under investigation, protests across the country, women fighting for their rights. It just felt very timely, and this is a brand new release. It just came out, I think, a week or two ago, and I originally got the ARC, and then my ARC didn't work anymore, and I was really upset about it, so I bought a copy because I really wanted to read it. So this will probably be something for Build Your Library. I bought The Indigo Girl by Natasha Boyd. This is not necessarily going to be in level 12 because I think the East Indian would work better, but this is also set in the American colonies in colonial America. And this has just been recommended to me a ton. And I've always been curious about it, but I've always kind of like, I don't know, I'll get to it when I get to it. So I bought a copy because I just think it sounds really interesting. It's about a woman in 1739 who ends up taking over her father's plantation in South Carolina, and she is master of the house, essentially, I think, and it has a lot to do with indigo, hence the name. So it sounds intriguing, like a woman living in this time but doing men's work, which again is something I'm always fascinated by. So I'm very curious about it, but it's too long to fit where I need it to go for this time period. So again, possibly a lit bite, possibly a self-education, who knows. I bought The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead because I've just been so curious about it for a while. I have not read anything by this author, I don't think, but I keep saying I'm gonna read something. I think I already own The Underground Railroad that I haven't gotten to, so now I have this, and it's short. I don't know yet. This might be in level 12. It might be a lit bite. Might be self-education. I don't know yet. But I feel like it belongs somewhere in Build Your Library something. So this is set in the 1960s. It's about a black boy unfairly sent to a juvenile detention center. I read something similar to this, The Reformatory by Tananarive Due, last year, and loved it. And that one was more like supernatural, but there was definitely a huge element of the story that was like, these are real people doing terrible things. And this is set more in reality than that one is. So I'm really curious to read it. Another one that's potentially going to be in level 12 is Crash, The Great Depression and the Fall and Rise of America by Mark Favreau. And this is all about the Great Depression, like the cause of it and what happened because of it. And it's nonfiction, and it's got some photographs and stuff in it. So this is written to, I don't know, actually no, this is either upper middle grade or YA. I'm not positive which. And so I need to read it and see if it belongs in level 12 or not, but I think it would be interesting to read no matter what. And then the last one in this deck is Blood and Germs, A Civil War Battle Against Wounds and Disease by Gail Jarrow. I was just looking to see if there was any other Civil War books that were like unique in some way. I don't want just a straightforward, here are the battles, here's what happened. I wanted something with an interesting spin to it, because you're going to get a lot of that information from the other texts anyway. So what is another interesting aspect? Like the book I currently have in level 12 is all about death. And I was like, okay, but what is like that? But maybe something slightly different. And this is still kind of about death, but it's a little bit more medical. And I thought it could potentially be interesting. It has a lot of like photographs and stuff in it. And so it's very interesting to look at. I need to read it still. I don't know what I'm doing with this, but I thought it sounded really interesting, so I bought it. The rest of these are just things that I bought because I wanted them, or I pre-ordered them, or whatever. Let's start with my Nightworms. So this month, the theme was Moody Midnights. And so we have two books. We have Feast While You Can. This is by Michaela Clements and Anjuli Datta. And this is, the monster's touch was cold like wet rock, soft like the sandstone her ancestors had used to build their homes, chalky fingertips tucking her damp hair behind her ears, petting at her sore scalp as if she were sorry. I don't actually know what this is specifically about, but it's written by a queer couple, and I'm curious about it. Then we got Beneath the Poet's House by Krista Carmen, which is a thriller, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. It says, in the house where Edgar Allan Poe once fell in love, she's found inspiration and fear. So it has something to do with Edgar Allan Poe and his home. I have Adrift in Currents Clean and Clear by Shauna McGuire. This is, I don't even know what number in the Wayward Children series. I've read all of them up to this point. I'm planning on reading this in February because it fits the buzzword title challenge, which is a water word. I have no idea, though, what this is specifically about or what character. I believe this has to do with somebody going into a portal world because the last book was school-based, so this should be a portal book. So I'm excited for that. I bought Dead Things Are Closer Than They Appear by Robin Wasley. This was nominated as a finalist in the Sybil's Awards for YA spec, I think, because this is clearly not realistic fiction. This is about a zombie apocalypse, and I was just curious about it, so I bought a copy because they didn't have it at the library. And it just says high school is hard enough to survive without an apocalypse to navigate. So this is supposed to have some really great characters and stuff in it, and I love that. I love a good story with a really crazy plot that has strong characters. So that is what I'm hoping for with this book. Could also potentially be a lit bite at some point if it's good. I have The Queen's Spade by Sarah Rowley, and I already read this, loved it. This was excellent. This is a book about a girl who grows up in Victorian England as the Queen's ward, but she was taken from her family in Africa when she was a small child and brought to England. And she's part of this group of wards from countries that the Empire has collected, and she's used as like proof of how good Queen Victoria is. Like, see how good she is. She has this black girl in her court that she's raised as one of her own children. And the story is all about her getting revenge on the people who have wronged her. And it is so good. Like, this is excellent historical fiction. It's based on a real person, and almost everyone in this book is a real person who existed. And the way that she writes this vengeance is great. I really enjoyed this, and I think it's definitely worth picking up if you are into historical fiction and you want to diversify a bit. I pre-ordered the newest Grady Hendrix, Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. I really want to read. I've heard so many people raving about this. I cannot wait to read it. I don't even know exactly what it is, but it's set in the 1970s, and I think it has to do with girls living in a home for like unwed pregnant mothers. And that's really all I know. But it's Grady Hendrix, so it's going to be good. I can't wait. I've also pre-ordered the newest from Nnedi Okorafor. This is Death of the Author. And I've been really looking forward to this because I love this author. Her stories are always so unique. She is a genius when it comes to world building. But this is like about an author and their work. And I don't actually know the details, but like the book itself is stunning. Like, you've got sprayed edges. The inside of the book is so pretty. But also, look at this cover! The naked book, oh, it's stunning. And I think this is because it says Rusted Robots. I think this is the name of the book that the author in the story is writing. I don't even know exactly what this is, but I cannot wait to read it. And then the last book I have is Babylonia. This is by Costanza Casati, and oh my god, look at how pretty this is. Like, it's absolutely stunning. Like, look at how pretty that is, and then the sprayed edges. Oh, I'm obsessed with sprayed edges anyway. And then the inside of the book is so pretty. It's like a map. Like, it's gorgeous. I don't even know what this book is, honestly. Like, I know what it is, but like I would buy this for the art of it. It's gorgeous. But this is a story about the Mesopotamian mythology and stuff like that. Like, the map in here is very much like an old map from that time of Babylon, and like the kingdom of Media, the kingdom of Elam. It's definitely in my wheelhouse. Like, I love stories set in different time periods. I love mythology coming into the story in some way. So this is a story about like the royalty, specifically a queen, and it says it brilliantly weaves myth and ancient history together to give Semiramis, the only female ruler of the Assyrian Empire, a voice, charting her captivating ascent to a throne no one promised her. So I have high hopes for it, but either way, it's gorgeous. Drew, why are you over here? Come on. No. Now you're in my way. Drusilla, can you not? So there you go. Here's all the books that I bought in January. It looks like a lot, but you know, at least half of these are for work. So Thanks so much for watching. Let me know down below in the comments if I've talked about anything you think I should prioritize. If there's anything here that you've read, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And let me know too if you got any exciting books this month. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Happy reading. Bye.